Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to draw this turtle in the space. I'm going to start with creating a new layer and I'm going to use a sketching Procreate pencil. I'm just going to sketch a turtle. This is just going to be for my reference, so I have an idea of how to make it the outlines later as I draw and add the wireframe. I'm not trying to be precise at this stage, as it's just really to have an idea of the shape of this turtle. And I'm going to position that in the middle, and I'm going to choose a light blue color. This time I'm going to choose technical pen from inking, and I'm going to draw on a new layer. I like this brush because it has different width throughout, so it makes it look much more interesting. So I'm just redrawing the sketch I just created. This time I'm trying to be a bit more precise and neater. I also have the streamline all the way to max, so all my lines are very smooth as I draw. Okay, I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to choose a calligraphy monoline brush. I'm reducing the size and I'm going to create many dots. This is going to be used for our wireframe. Now I'm reducing the size, so dots are different. I'm trying to make it as dense as possible. Creating a new layer, and I'm going to use a technical pen again. And now I'm going to create a wireframe. So the whole idea is to connect each dot to another one and to make it look as it is a wireframe. It kinda looks as stars. I'm creating like many triangles connected together. And I keep holding the line until it becomes completely straight. So you click and hold and it creates a really smooth and straight line. And then you can position where you want it. It's quite time consuming, but I think it's very effective and it has really nice effect. Okay, so that's how much I have so far. Okay, so that's how it looks, and I'm going to keep working on the wireframe. Okay, so I have finished the first part, and now I'm going to select the main body of this turtle because I decided to change its color. So have a selection, and I'm going to alpha lock it, and I'm going to choose a different color. I'm going to use a monoline brush, and I'm going to change it because I feel it has to be different from its shell. I'm adding a bit of pink shadows as well, a bit of shading, and I'm going to change to darker blue. Okay, I'm going to select the dots of its body as well, because I want to change color in there as well. So I'm going to alpha lock it, and now I'm not going to change color of all of it, but just some of them. And now I'm going to use a technical pen again on a new layer, and I'm going to create a wireframe. It's exactly the same as I did on its shell, just using a different color this time. Okay, so that's how it looks once I have completed. And I'm going to put this layer with wireframe below its outline and the dots, so the dots are above the wireframe layer. Now I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to use luminous light pen, and I'm going to add some more triangles, some more wireframes, just to create to look it more interesting. And I'm adding some dots as well as some stars. I'm holding a pen, and it creates the longer you hold the pen with luminance pen selected, the more glowing it looks. So I'm just adding dots and triangles throughout. If you like that look, you might leave it as it is, but I'm trying to achieve a more as a painting, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to color pick from its shell, and I'm adding some highlights on its shell. I'm adding some stars. I'm creating a new layer. I'm going to choose a light blue, kind of bright. Again, I'm adding some dots. Again, I'm doing a wireframe, similar to the way I did with the pen color on its body. Okay, I'm adding some more stars around and creating some triangles. Now, I think I might work on the highlights on its shell. I'm going to erase some of them because I think they shouldn't be as thick. So I'm using eraser, and I'm going to create thinner lines this time. Now, above the background layer, I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to choose luminous nebula brush to create a sky. I'm trying to draw this turtle as if it's flying in the universe, so that's why I'm using pink and light blue colors. So I'm going to use a bit of eraser, a soft brush, just to delete in the places where I feel it's too saturated. I'm going to duplicate the outlines of this turtle, and I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to color in with black color, and I'm going to increase the blurriness by using Gaussian blur just to create a shadow in the sky on the clouds. I'm going to reduce the size a bit of the shadow. And I'm going to choose pin light and reduce opacity slightly. Now I'm going to choose monoline brush again, and I'm going to color turtle's body again using I'm using white at the moment so you see where I completed the coloring, and I'm going to put this layer above the background layer, and I'm going to fill it with black color. And I'm going to alpha lock it as I'm trying to create some highlights using soft airbrush. I'm adding some blue and pink just to create some shadows. And I'm choosing very light blue color, and I'm going to add some highlights using a small size brush. That's still a soft brush. Okay, I'm going to create a new layer again. I'm going to use monoline brush. Again, I'm using very light color. And I'm going to create each section as a separate layer, because I'm going to do similar to the method I just did to add some shadows. So each part is colored separately, and it creates every single shape. Okay, so now I'm going to alpha lock it and fill it with black color. So I can create a shadow on each of this shape. I'm using again airbrush soft brush, and I'm slightly going through the corner or the edge just to separate each shape from another. Okay, so that's how it looks so far. Now I'm going to create again a new layer above the sky layer, and I'm going to add some stars. I'm going to use a luminous brush. Now I'm going to use a pulse brush. I'm going to increase its size quite a lot. I'm going to use stars glitter. Okay, I'm going to use luminous flare brush. I'm going to add some highlights. As I have too many layers, I'm going to merge some of my layers together so I can continue drawing. I'm adding a new layer, and I'm going to use the same brush, the flare. I'm going to rotate it and place it here. And I'm going to use luminous light brush just to add some highlights on this turtle. I'm going to use very smoothly to paint over and create this glowing effect. Now I'm creating over its legs. And I'm going to use erase as well a little bit in the places where it looks overexposed. Again, I'm using luminous light brush, just adding more highlights. I'm creating a new layer, and I'm going to choose a blue color, and I'm adding some highlights in the sky. Now I'm going to choose a lighter blue. Okay, now I'm going to use a smudge brush, light brush. I'm going to smudge together. On the new layer, I'm going to choose a very light blue, and I'm creating some clouds, some highlights for the clouds, adding some pink shading. Now I'm going to choose clouds brush in element section, and I'm adding some clouds in here using light blue. And I'm going to change opacity to add and reduce opacity slightly. And going to use some glimmer to add more stars. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click thumbs up.